If you're interested in how a foiling racer sail is working, or if it's really necessary to have a foiling racing or slalom sail, then you should watch this.
I don't know where we're gonna fly like you did sometimes, seeing eyes of mine. What do you feel beside? I don't know where we're gonna fly like you did sometimes, seeing eyes of mine.
Hello friends. Actually, I'm getting quite a lot of emails from people asking me all kind of stuff. Lately, I just got an email and there was one guy asking me about the foiling sails and if it's really necessary to have a foiling slalom or racing sail. To answer this question, it's necessary to understand how a foiling sail is working. And this is quite different to a normal sail. There are some key facts that are different. Right now, this is our duotone warp slalom sail. This you can also use for up and downwind racing on a foil. But it's designed for slalom. So now is coming the question, what is different to a normal slalom sail? We have three key facts. First one is the outline with the longer mast sleeve, with the longer mast, with a different leech. Second thing is the profile. And I would say the third thing is the stiffness of the whole sail. Let's start with the leech. As you can see here, the leech is quite close. That means, compared to a normal slalom sail, it doesn't have so much loose leech. So what is loose leech doing? Actually, if a sail is open in the top, it lifts up the nose. If the sail is a little bit closer, it lowers the nose. So it gives you, on the one hand, stability, but much more control. And this is actually what we want to have in foiling. We don't want to have a sail that lifts up the nose all the time. We want to have a sail that keeps the nose steady and pushes it maybe a little bit down. This is why a foiling sail is always closer in the top than all other, let's say, freeride or slalom sails. Second part, you see the mast, or you see the boom is much shorter compared to another sail. This is because we don't want to have the backhand power. We want to have a short sail, so the power point, the draft of the sail is going more to the front. Usually we have these, it's called cross button, and the cross button is always looking out, you know, it's always standing out like 20-30 centimeters. Why did they do it back in the days? They do it because they want to have good handling with a shorter boom, but still they want to be the leech quite big so that it generates backhand power. Backhand power, we know, is lifting up the nose. As we had it with the leech, this is not what we want in foiling. We want to have a sail that keeps the nose down, that makes it for a steady fly. So this is why the foiling sails are, let's say, more narrow. With this, the power point is going more to the front. But this is not all. In this sail, also in a lot of other racing sails, foil racing sails, we are using carbon bands with a quite soft tip. So with the carbon bands, because it's so stiff, more carbon there is in the batten, harder it is. We are also pushing the draft more forward. So what we want in foiling is not like a pushing feeling, like in slalom. It's more like a pulling feeling. So this is the reason why we also have carbon tubes, at least in button number 5 and 6. So we are always counting from the top. So this cross button is button number 6. These are also the most important buttons we are working on. Okay, now we know it's a little bit more narrow, it's a little bit closer in the top. Plus, what we know is the carbon button is pushing the draft more forward. Another big thing that is different is the length of the mast. Usually a foil racing sail has a longer mast. Why is that? If we are looking at the America's Cuppers, you know, they always have a very long mast, but the sail is very, very narrow. This is simply aerodynamically more efficient. Now the question is, why didn't we do it on the normal slalom sails, a longer mast? The answer is easy. Because we are flying, we don't have the hits of the board anymore. So if we would have a slalom sail, which is very long, and we have the movement of the board, the sail would always open all the time, and we couldn't get the stability in the sail. But with the foiling, because we are not touching anymore, we are just flying, we don't need the stability in the top of the sail anymore. So we can make a longer mast, so it's just more efficient. And because the sails we are using, for example, this is a 7/8, is not used in the same wind range like a 7/7 slalom sail. So we don't need the stability so much. This is why we can go with a longer mast. For example, the 7/8 has a 490 mast with a quite long extension, and we can go more narrow because we don't need the stability. So with the draft more forward, with a closed top, with a longer mast, this sail is completely different to a normal slalom sail. So this person was asking me if it makes sense for him to buy a pure foil slalom or racing sail. And I answered him, it makes sense if you want to go on the race course and if you want to go fast. But if you're a hobby sailor and you want to do it once in a while, you will be happy also with your normal sail. There's just one thing you can add. You are making a click less, so you're putting not as much downhill as normal. So also on the normal slalom sail, the top is a little bit more closed, the profile in the front of the sail is a little deeper, and then you will have fun also with the normal sail. But if you want to have a performance sail and if you want to be the fastest on the lake or on your windsurfing or foiling spot, then you need a sail like this. I hope I could answer your question. If you have more questions about material, about equipment, about setting, about tuning or trimming, write down in the comments and I will answer your questions. Hope to see you soon. Stay healthy and we will see each other on the water, hopefully soon again. Cheers.
What do you feel beside? I don't know where we're gonna fly like you did sometimes.